Welcome back to Dr. Bill and Brothers Abroad podcast. We've been vibing with our fufu, and we talked about multiple things. Now we want to segue into how our transition was coming from overseas, basically Ghana, Liberia. We have, diverse groups, from Nigeria, everybody in the mix. So how was it when you first came in? How did you feel? How was the shock, and how did you transition through the hustle and bustle to finally say, I'm living the American dream? So I'd like to hear from the panel how the transition has been and how it's going.
Well, when I touched down in New York, I thought I was in some part of a crowd. I'm like, hey, I'm with you. Like,
welcome to America.
Yeah, I was expecting, something like, like I was seeing the movies,
Flashing lights.
Yeah, New York, like, the streets was all crazy, but I mean, my transition was cool. Back home, we already used to the Nikes and the 50 cents and stuff, so,
Man, he had it good back in Ghana, so.
I had it good? I wasn't from the trenches?
Nah, he wasn't.
Then the B.
Yeah, now you're dead about. Yeah.
They were doing Laboro, right?
No, he was dead about straight up. No, he was.
Fresh out of the box.
Yeah. He got it good. Everybody got it good, though, I'm saying, one way or the other, but yeah, go. Yeah.
So how was the transition, basically? What was it like?
So, I mean, had to go to school, do some kind of stuff, study school. Like, I want to travel the world. So I was like, let me just join the Navy and do my thing. But before that, man, cutting meat.
Cutting meat?
I was a butcher for a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's where you got a lot of muscles, huh? Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let me tell you. Like, no, the first time I landed in America, I landed in Houston, right? Oil field guy, First time coming in, it's like, oh yeah, America is gonna be cold, man. And then, mind you, when I was coming, it was in June. So summertime, man. I was wearing my suit and all that. I thought it was gonna be cold, man. I didn't know about it, like the weather. Yeah. So I landed. I got out of the airport. The heat that hit my body. I was like, damn. I said, Esunya. Yeah, it was hot. Where's the cold, man? I started sweating profusely. I was like, man, I gotta take my shirt off. Luckily enough, like, I was coming for training, so that was my other Nigerian brother. Like, I saw him in that. I was like, probably, man, this guy's going to where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So we started talking, and it's like, Omo, you know what, Charlie? If we take one, I shirt off, because man, it's hot over here, man. That was my first time I landed, but that was way back in 2011. Went back to Ghana, came back. I thought everything was cool, but then that's when, life really hit me. You know what I'm saying? Life really hit me. I had to do menial jobs. I had to pack boxes, work for Amazon. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I see manager, we are in my office. Manager, we are in my office with Charlie. I just send my boys go check on stuff for me right now. Man, I'm picking and packing. I'll be in this, they call it a cherry picker. Man, I'll be carrying dog food, cat litter. Man, those cat litters weigh 50 pounds, man. When I came over here, I was say 87 kg, right? Man, after 6 months, I was 60 kgs, man. I dropped all that weight. And then later on, I saw that how they were advertising the jobs you want to lose weight and get paid. You want to lose weight and get paid. Come work for us. They wasn't joking, man. They wasn't joking. But it's been good. I came over here I met like, you know what I mean, a few friends, good friends, man. Good friends. They supported me. I say they are my destiny helpers, man. Because if it wasn't for them, like I wouldn't be, you know what I mean, I wouldn't be me right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then like, you know what I mean, shout outs to them, Dr. Bill, Ghostifari, Yao D, Dixon, Emmanuel, you know what I mean, Brothers Abroad.
Roll
You know what I'm
call.
saying? It was all love, man. But one thing, the key to success is the friends and the company that you choose. Sometimes you don't choose them; they choose you because they know your potential, right? But then it also depends on the personality that you got. You know what I mean? If you were somebody who was disrespectful, nobody's gonna entertain you around them. So I think that played like an important role in my life. You know?
Okay. That's good. Rev, what you got?
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, my transition was quite a little bit difficult, because in Ghana, the way we used to do church, when it comes to America, it's quite different because in Ghana, it's like spirituality, we call something called Awoyo. Many Ghanaians know what called Awoyo, and other spiritual churches. Ghana is like, Christianity is quite different over there when it comes to even the way we pray, kind of like fighting, screaming.
You gotta fight.
Well, they
You
said
gotta
if it
fight the
wasn't loud
demons.
enough, your prayers will not get
Be
to
heard.
God.
No,
So you had to,
Loud.
amplify the
I call
prayer.
it Africa way of worshiping God or something. So when I come here, it's kind of different altogether. So I have to adjust to it and trying to make sure that I relate to their kind of way of worship before kind of join to them and do all kind of stuff. But job wise, I was when I was in Ghana, I was a supervisor in Ghana. But I came here, I started with putting furnitures together. I was like, yo, what happened? But it is what it is. You have to start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere.
And the furniture company, the funny thing is that they asked me if I know how to put furniture together. I'm not a carpenter. I don't know how to put furniture, but I said yes, I know how to do it. So when I get to the company, they give me the manual, everything is in boxes. I just use my Africa string.
Boom, 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 boom.
Print it out. Boom, 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 boom. So the manager was telling me, this guy can do something. So the time that I have to put it together, that's why the pattern came from.
Yeah.
So when I put this side,
It
it's
didn't
not
match.
it's not matching.
So you worked harder, not smarter.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I put like 5 or something furniture together, but the manager was like, saw how I was struggling and said, okay, maybe this is not a fit, but I'm trying to earn something. So it was kind of a little bit challenging, but right. One thing that you have to know is abroad is time, and when you come, you have to open yourself to anything that you want to do, and then make sure that you do your best out of it before you know. And as Benzino said, your friends and your company that you choose into, it will show your success in abroad. And thank God I had the job that I was doing, Ghana supervisor. I got it, and things were start. But at the first, it was not easy. It was not easy. So that's what I want the brothers to know. Yeah.
That's what's up. How about you, Yao?
Yo, my transition was tough, man. So,
Welcome to the club.
So from Ghana, I was in England for a bit, went to graduate school. I was done with masters, and I came here for Thanksgiving, and I made a few of my friends. So I was like, nah, I need to come back to America because America is good. But I've seen the good side of America because I met my friends who are working good.
Yeah, you're on vacation.
On vacation. So I was like, nah, I have to come back. So after Thanksgiving, went back to London, put my things together, packed my things, resigned from work, and the following year, March, I came back. So I came back, settled with my family. Everything was good, they feed you. But after some time, then you get bored, you need to get on your feet. So
like most of the people, the first job I did was in a warehouse.
Some warehouses.
Now, what I didn't know about warehouses, now, for most people in America, you know, when you get a good job, they do background checks, right? But people in warehouses, they don't do background checks, right? So a lot of the folks who work in warehouses have either been to jail, have either been shot before, or been on the street before, you know? Like, it's that kind of people on there. So, you know, I got a job at a warehouse, you know, I was working from 4 a.m. and I met a guy there who lived like a few blocks from me. I was driving, so I rolled with him. Don't know if this guy had been shot before.
Oh my
He
God.
had license, he had a suspended license, but this guy drives without a seatbelt, he's smoking, I'm music, and I'm sitting at the front seat like, oh my God, what have I got? Now, I work when we go on break, and the group and they're talking about their lives, they're like, yeah, I was in Block D, I was like, man, I wasn't built for this life.
No.
So after like 2 months,
It's a hard knock life.
checks, I was like, nope.
This
I need
this
to
ain't
get
for
my-
me.
I need to get my life together, because this life, no, I thought it was in the movies, but it's real, man. There's some people who've seen it, who've been shot. So yeah, the trauma of just being with people who were talking about being shot before, who've been in jail before, who were packing, was like, no, I don't want that. So you have to get your life together, you know, meet the right people, get motivated, you know, apply for jobs, you know, start from the scratch. But that motivation just to climb up, having friends who've been there and done that, it's key. It pushes you. So yeah.
That's what's up.
Theo.
What's going on?
What was your transition like?
Yeah, so my transition was when I came here, you know, when I first landed, right? I came here in January. It was cold as hell.
New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Oh my God.
It was
Yeah.
cold. I had a jacket. My dad picked me up from the airport, right? So, never seen the snow before. So I came up like, what's all this white stuff? Dad told me, that's snow, man.
That's the snow you've been seeing on TV.
That's a real snow. So I never seen something before. So I look at it, you know, it was piled up, you know, like badges and stuff, you know, like, I'm like, man. And it was cold. I see the sun.
Still
Like,
cold.
it's kind of like you see the sun there.
Deceiving
It's
though.
supposed to be hot, right?
But
And it
nah.
was cold. So I told my dad, I said, what is that? Like, yeah, that's snow. Like, you know, it's like ice. I said, okay. So I touched it, right? What's ice? I'm like, God, man. You know, back home, we have to get a refrigerator to put your fish in there, like a
Yeah.
cold store, right?
Right.
I told my dad, I said, hey, man, I don't think you need a refrigerator here, man. Just buy your fish and just, you know, just
That's right there.
put it in there and say,
Open
man, you
cold store.
stupid. So, you know, we got home and then later on, I have to find a job. But my point was, coming here was going to school.
Mhm.
So, my parent, my stepmom was, you know, they were doing some kind of stuff, and you know, she wasn't working. So my dad was the only one paying the bills. So now, my dad needs somebody to help him pay the bills. So instead of me going to school, I have to go find a job to help me. So I did find a job, help him with some bills. That's when I went for my GED. You know, then I got my GED. But working, I had to wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning, go to work, get off like 2 o'clock, go to another job. I had 3 jobs.
Damn, bro.
Like as 22 years old, doing 3 jobs. I had to working in my dad's job, you know, as a part-time. And then from there, I had to go deliver blood. You know,
Natural blood, though, right?
yeah, not my blood.
Vampires in the building.
Not for, you
you know,
Oh,
pick up
yeah.
a blood and go
It's like a
to
medical
the hospital.
delivery.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I have to do that, you know. So I was doing that. By the time I come home, like 1 o'clock in the morning, I have to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning to go to my first job again. So it was kind of hard. As time goes on, I find this guy, the guy that I told you that he passed away. You know, he was the one that helped me get into the
Merchant Marine.
you know. So he helped me a lot, you know, got in there, did my thing, and then, you know, we are here.
Okay.
For me, when I first touched down, I already came with mindset: get rich, go build, mansions, buy 3 cars in 3 months, motorcycle, bicycle. Man, it's been 6 months. I still ain't got a job yet. I'm like, man, people calling me, yo, what's up? You said you're gonna do this. You promised this. I'm like, man, I don't even have a job yet. Okay, I apply to these jobs. I go for interview. They won't even call me back. Or they'll hear my accent. They'll be like, man, he ain't from here. So finally, I got my first job. I met my boy Tochi, back at the V. We washing dishes, mopping the hospital floors. I'm like, oh, how we gonna build a house with this? Paycheck. I said, my brother, you just gotta get out of here and, get yourself education. And of course, my uncle that I live with too, he's, pro education. You gotta get your education and get out. So I stayed focused, worked in them, deep freezers. Almost like everybody else, you wake up 4 or 5 in the morning. Yeah. You gotta bundle up like extra jackets just to get in those freezers and, carry them boxes. But guess what? We had to do it and, start from somewhere and then go somewhere. So that's how it pretty, much was. Yeah.
People in Ghana don't know, but the hustle is not televised.
It's not.
I can remember my first job, right? Yeah. When I was, one day I was going to work, and then the guy that's supposed to take me to the job, he didn't show up. So now I'm talking about like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting late, So my dad had a bicycle. So now I have to ride a bicycle to E.P. Henry. I don't know if you know, Ricestown for Dix. That's what.
That's how many miles?
From where?
From Willingboro.
From Willingboro to Fort Dix.
From Willingboro to Fort Dix.
Central Jersey.
That's like 30, 40 miles.
Yeah.
For this, like
Ricestown.
Yeah.
That's like 30 minutes drive.
That's 30 minutes drive.
But you
Right. Yo, you crazy, bro.
With the cold weather, I'm telling you. Like, it was like my first 3 months over here, right?
Yeah. That's straight hustle.
I didn't know where to go. So I took the bike from Rancocos Road all the way to Burlington, junior high, whatever. So instead of making a right, I made a left turn. Now it took me to 130. I'm lost now, right?
On a bike.
With no GPS.
No GPS. So I turned around, came back, right? Now instead of me going straight, now I make another left. Now going to Burlington Police Station. I said no, because I marked something on the road that I know. Okay, if I get to this, I know I'm on the right part, right? So I got to Burlington Police Station. And I'm like, nah, this ain't the place. So I came back. Now made the final, Now I'm going. I'm like, man, I still haven't seen the mark. I know. I said, no, I'm lost.
You lost.
I'm talking about blood coming through my nose.
Because it's cold. Yeah.
My hands like this. On the bicycle. Now I gotta get off the bicycle and walk because I couldn't pedal no more.
Yeah.
I couldn't. So now, like, it's getting to like 6:30. I'm already late.
Yeah.
Got off work, right? Coming. Now he tried to see if he can, see me on the roadside or whatever. So I got to the Burlington school. Now I see my dad. They said, "Hey boy, where you going?" I said, "I'm going home."
You far from home.
You going home? I said, "I'm going now. I'm late for work. I can't now." He said, "No, put your bike in there. I'm taking you back to work." And my dad did that.
He took me to work.
took me to work.
Oh, cause he need that bill paid.
He took me
Plot
to work,
twist.
man. I was like hour late. I
Yeah.
was hour late. He took me to work. You know, with my bicycle behind the car. You know, went there, worked. I told my boss, hey, I'm sorry, I got lost, whatever. And then he said, no problem, you will have. And I was throwing bricks. I was working in it's a construction company.
Oh, okay.
But they doing like pavers, pavements and stuff, and you know, chimney. They're doing all the bricks and
The slab works, all those stuff. Yeah.
and stuff. And that's what, man, I was on the machine doing like this every day. Every day. So
The hustle is not
man,
televised.
it was a good hustle.
All right, so yeah, let me tell you about my experience, man. You know what boys did for money some time back ago? Man, I had to sell plasma. You know what I'm saying? Plasma just for $35, man. And when I go, they be like, you know, yeah, you gotta pump. You know, you gotta pump. And sometimes, like, you know what I mean, they don't get enough of the plasma. They be like, all right, yeah, just lay on the bed. And then, yeah, buy a bicycle, man. All of that, man, just for $35.
Just to get the blood.
Yeah,
For
just
how much?
$35, man. I don't think I told you about that, man. Sometimes I just come back home, man.
You tired?
I'm tired, man. They drain all the shit out of me, man. But man, it's all part of the hustle, man. But as you know, the hustle is not televised. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not televised.
It's not televised. Like,
But-
you know, I mean, all they see is the glory. But
Yeah, and one thing I want to say is, and I think we can all agree to this, when you transition and come over, best advice, don't compare your day 1 to somebody's day 100.
No.
Like, it's completely different.
mm,
Because you see them, you know, riding that Mercedes, you don't know what they did to get it. You know,
It's a process.
it is a process, and you got to follow your timeline. You know, seek, you know, guidance and protection from God. And what? Follow who know road.
follow who know road.
Follow who know road. I remember Benzino one time. Benzino came, you know, he came to visit from York, and you know, he was all beat, like he was drained. I said, "Yo, what you been doing?" I said, "Yo, Charlie, I'm by inside 16 hours, Charlie." The next day, I called out.
Yeah. I didn't even call. I quit the job. I quit the job, man.
He quit. Because
Because I didn't have energy to go back. I was like, nah, man, I can't do this forever, man. Come on, man. I was a manager back at home. Like, you know, I mean, got 2 cars.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? I'm a manager. Like, you know, I mean, be traveling all over. You know, I mean, planes and helicopters. Like, you know, be on the rig. You know, I mean, eat, and then I'm saying just do a whole lot of things. But man, came back over here. Man, the hustle wasn't easy, man. But I mean, you gotta start from
You gotta
somewhere.
start from somewhere.
You gotta start from somewhere.
I know, right?
Uh-huh.
I know. You think it's better. It's always better to come here, or sometimes at a certain point, just stay there. Just stay in Ghana. Don't.
I mean, it depends on
It's
your
individualized,
situation.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It depends on your situation. But if you got a good back at home,
Stay there.
yeah, stay there.
Have
Yeah.
friends that have it good. Like,
If you got a good, just stay there. Cause like my boys, when I go to Ghana, man, they be showing me love, man. I'll be like, man, if I was in Ghana, I would have been doing like, you know, I mean, better than y'all. But man, look at me. You know what I'm saying, I'm coming in with my couple of dollars, man. I still got bills over here. But then y'all, you know, you guys don't have mortgages. Probably like, you know, your house is paid off.
They buy it all.
Yeah, your car. They drive nice cars, man. It's all paid off, but then, man, I still gotta do like a little payment, like my insurance, like what, $300, $400 a month. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you gotta go back at home, man.
Yeah.
And then-
don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Say don't come,
Yeah.
or if the opportunity is there, take it. If it come and doesn't work out, you go back,
Yeah,
and vice versa. So
depends.
there's
It
no
depends on your
one-sided.
situation,
Sometimes
man.
you go back, you don't get whatever you left off.
because nothing waits for you. Somebody
Yeah,
don't take
yeah.
opportunity.
The world doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Whatever, it keeps moving for real.
Keeps moving.
It keeps moving.
All right.